Hello and welcome to my new video series, Things I Like and Don't Like, where as the name suggests, I go through things I liked or I didn't like from a game that I recently watched. Most recently I watched this game between Yaka and CUSB from the EUCF final last season, and during the game there were three things that I liked or I didn't like. I really loved watching the score, both elements of the score, the throw and the catch were top class, and really caught my attention because the throw to set up the score, that high curved backhand is an unusual throw to see at the top level. Something on the forehand side that you'll see a lot of, but not that many players are confident throwing it on the backhand side. So it was really nice to see it executed so well here, and it was basically the only throw outside a hammer which could have worked in this situation. As you can see on the replay just there, the previous turnover from Yaka was from the thrower, Miss Maria Castillo. So it's great to see that short-term memory from a fantastic player to just take on this throw. One of the elements that I really liked for this throw in particular that you can see here is that Maria creates the angle of the throw using her body and not her wrist. So you can see her body has the angle that she wants the disc to be thrown at. Quite often when people are being taught to put curve on throw, they'll be taught to do with their wrist to create an inside out angle or an outside in angle using their wrist by tilting the disc. But if you really want to keep power and you need to throw it far, that's not a great way to do it. Keeping a neutral disc angle to your wrist, a straight disc angle to your wrist, and using your body to create the angle of the disc is going to let you throw it with both a lot more power but a lot more consistency of angle, because using a small muscle like your wrist to try and change the angle with, lots of things can go wrong. Very minute changes in your wrist angle can lead to very different outcomes of the angle, whereas using your whole body to create the angle, using such a large part of your body, your entire body essentially, you can create very small changes in the angle very easily and very reliably, because using a big body part to do it, it makes it easier to make small changes. So I really like to see her leaning into the throw here to create that outside in angle to allow the disc to get where it needed to go. The other side of this highlight, of course, is the reception, which is top class. Obviously, Robin Fennick has a bit of a height advantage. It's not a colossal height advantage, so he can't rely on that alone. So I think her movement here is brilliant. I think it's an example everyone could take and try and learn, because she does two things in quick succession. Once the throw goes up, firstly she moves away across the defender's line in this direction. Sorry for the gratuitously large arrow. What this does is it stops the defender getting to the back and cutting off the deep space from Robin Fennick. Ideally, as a defender here, when like a floaty throw like this goes up, you will want to kind of sneak in around here, especially when you're smaller. Sneak in around here and kind of pin the receiver under the disc. Disc goes over the hedge. You can run around and catch it, nice and easy. But Robin Fennick's too wily for that, and immediately her first move is to cut off that angle from the defender, which is brilliant. And as soon as she does that, so you can see she's moved to her right there to cut it off, and as soon as she does that, and the defender has to commit to taking the inside line on her left hand side, Robin starts moving to her left to prevent the defender getting a good clean run up. And we'll see a bit more in the slow motion replay, but you'll see this little move to the left at the last minute from Robin Fennick. You can see it here. Completely takes away any chance the defender has to have a clean spring at this disc and maybe get it ahead of Robin. Yeah, she basically has no space to jump, no clean space to jump, and she ends up kind of jumping away from where the disc is going just to try and get a decent spring and a nice angle there that Robin's read the disc absolutely perfect, kind of comfortably catch it above the defender. Looks easy, and I think sometimes as a taller receiver you don't get the credit that is deserved in that situation. I think the defender actually did a really good job to make this as difficult as she could for Venig by taking the aggressive line she took and really putting a good solid bit in, but the read of the disc combined with those two little moves to move away, to take away the deeper space from the defender, and then the move across the defender's line to stop the defender being able to get a clean, aggressive inside line jump. Made us look far easier than it actually is. Okay, so one thing I didn't like was this offense from Yaka early on in the game, demonstrating what I would call basically an auto swing, where the centre handler has the disc, someone on the sideline is free and they just throw it without thinking about anything else happening. This is something a lot of defences will set up to let you throw, because it's quite an advantageous position for the defense, and you can see here as the disc moves across that all the defenders, like, even before the swing is thrown, all the defenders are already moving into position on that far sideline in order to put pressure in around the disc, which then helps CUSB generate a turnover. So if I stop it once this swing is thrown, you can see all the defenders, as soon as the access handler turns their shoulder to look at the far sideline, all the defenders start running towards it. If that's just looked at or faked, you can see all the space is going to be completely vacated for the offense. And probably more importantly, we have a 2v1 on the sideline the disc came from. So an overload or a free player, depending which way you look at it. Whereas on the far side of the pitch, we have 2 Yaka players, and then we have 3 defenders. So we're throwing it into an overload for the defense. Again, presumably this is designed by CUSB. They want Yaka to throw the swing into the sideline, offer that free pass in order to put pressure in around the disc. So this is something I think teams should avoid, just taking this free pass. I know it's a principle that everyone's taught from a very early age in Ultimate, and generally it's a good thing obviously to throw the open pass, but this scenario in particular, throwing just from the middle of the pitch to the sideline, particularly when the defense are playing zony sort of formations, what I would encourage my players and my teams to do is, it's fine to throw that as long as you have a plan of what's going to happen once the disc gets to that sideline, and you're not just throwing it just because that pass is being offered by the defense, because it's being offered by defense for a very good reason. The other thing I really liked from this game was the timing of this deep poach from Sofia Scazzieri on the hook from Mondio. So as you see at the top of the screen, Maria Castillo is absolutely miles open, going into deep space, and it's quite simple for defenders to just overcommit, just to cut off this pass, like to switch really early, in which case this throw isn't going to be thrown, and Yaka probably be able to move the disc around and find something else. The timing of this peel from Sofia Scazzieri is incredible. If I can just go back very slightly, you can see Mondio is just in the throwing motion as Scazzieri commits to taking her first step, which is ideal, because there's almost no way as a thrower that you're going to be able to see this poach before it's too late. She goes a fraction earlier, Mondio probably sees it, maybe adjusts her throw or decides not to throw it. She goes any later, she's probably not going to get the block. So really biding her time and taking off just as Mondio has committed to throwing this throw is absolutely perfect timing, and she doesn't get the disc. It's putting the pressure on to generate the turn. And then finally, as a bonus thing that I like from this game, is not really to do with the game, it's just that this game is available. LTTV have been phenomenal for the European community I've been a Patreon of them for over a year now, and Ranma are also a Patreon supporter of OTTV. It's been great to be able to go back and watch these European finals and all the European tournaments. So with the upcoming European season, maybe consider donating to OTTV as well if you can, because it's fantastic to be able to revisit these memories and revisit these top class games and learn from them. Freely available on YouTube for everybody, and not just people who can pay.